Picture this. You are sitting at your kitchen table on a Sunday evening, looking over your bank account online. You have a decent job, you worked hard all week, and you even skipped that expensive dinner with your friends on Friday night to save some cash. You feel pretty good about yourself, like you are finally making the responsible choice. But then you look at the actual balance number on the screen and your heart sinks a little bit. The number is almost exactly the same as it was last month and the month before that. You feel completely stuck. You are doing the right things, you are making sacrifices, but you still feel like you are running on a financial treadmill going absolutely nowhere. It is an incredibly frustrating place to be, and it leaves you wondering if you are just doing everything wrong. You see other people online buying homes, going on vacations, and looking incredibly relaxed about their futures, while you are just trying to make sure your checking account does not drop below 3 figures before next Friday. You are not lazy, and you are not blowing your money on luxury cars or designer clothes. So why does it feel like your bank account has a leak you cannot find? In this video, we are going to break down exactly how to discover the hidden money habits that are keeping you stuck and how to build a simple system to change your financial direction for good. My name is Jack, and I spend way too much time thinking about why normal, hardworking people can't seem to get ahead. If you are someone who works hard every day but still feels completely behind financially, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you out. Here's the thing about the modern financial world. We have been completely lied to about what it takes to build security. We are told that if we just download a budgeting app, track every single cup of coffee, and clip a few coupons, we will magically become wealthy. But you already know that does not work. It just makes you feel miserable and guilty every time you spend a single dollar on something that brings you joy. The real issue is not the $5 latte you bought on Tuesday morning. The real issue is a set of invisible, silent habits that we never talk about because they do not look like bad habits from the outside. In fact, many of them actually look like responsible choices. This is where it gets really interesting when you look at the actual numbers behind how everyday earners manage their cash. Let us take a look at two different people, both earning $60,000 a year after taxes. The first person, let us call him Alex, tries to save money the traditional way. He watches his small expenses, tries to budget manually, and promises himself he will save whatever is left over at the end of every month. On average, he manages to save about $50 a month because unexpected life events always seem to pop up and eat the rest. After 10 years of stressing out and counting pennies, Alex has exactly $6,000 sitting in a basic savings account. Now, let us look at the second person, Sarah. Sarah earns the exact same $60,000, but she uses a system called the automatic gap strategy. Instead of trying to save what is left over, she sets up a hidden habit. She automates a simple, non-negotiable $250 out of her paycheck every single 2 weeks, right before she ever sees it or has a chance to spend it. Because she does this automatically, her brain adapts to living on the rest, and she does not even miss it. Over those same 10 years, assuming a modest and safe 5% return in a basic investment account, Sarah does not just have a few $1,000s. She has over $85,000 stacked up. Same income, completely different financial reality, all because of one invisible shift in her daily routine. Here's what most people don't realize about human psychology and money. Our brains are fundamentally wired to spend whatever resources are available to us. Psychologists call this Parkinson's law, which states that our demand for something expands to match the supply. If you have 2 weeks until your next paycheck and you see $1,000 in your checking account, your brain looks at that number as a safe zone. You feel comfortable. You make choices based on that feeling of comfort, buying the slightly better groceries, ordering delivery because you are tired, or upgrading a subscription. You are not being reckless. You are just behaving like a normal human being, responding to the numbers in front of you. The secret to breaking this cycle is not changing your willpower. It is changing your financial environment. You need to create an environment where your brain naturally makes the right choices without you having to constantly fight against your own impulses. If you rely on willpower to save money every single month, you will lose eventually. Willpower is a finite resource, and after a long, stressful day at work, your willpower is completely drained. That is exactly when the impulse buys happen. And that is exactly why the traditional advice of just trying harder always fails us in the long run. To actually change your financial trajectory, You need a repeatable framework, which I like to call the clear canvas system. It consists of 3 specific, hidden habits that you can set up once and then let run in the background of your life. The first step in this system is called the first day swipe. Most people wait until the end of the month to see what they can save, which means they are fighting over scraps. With the first day swipe, you decide on a small, realistic percentage of your income, even just 5% to start, and you set up your bank account to automatically move that money into a separate, completely detached account the exact day your paycheck hits. You do not wait, you do not think about it, and you do not give yourself time to negotiate. By removing that money immediately, you effectively lower your available balance, forcing your brain to budget the remaining 95% without any extra mental effort. The second step is establishing what I call the friction firewall. One of the biggest reasons we fail to save is that transferring money back from our savings into our checking account is way too easy. It takes 2 taps on a smartphone screen to move $50 over to cover a dinner bill. To fix this, you need to open your savings account at a completely different bank than the one you use for daily checking. Do not download the app for the second bank on your phone, and do not carry the debit card in your wallet. By creating physical and digital distance between your daily spending life and your future savings life, you create healthy friction that stops impulse spending before it starts. The third step is the subscription audit reset. We are living in a world designed to drain our accounts through microtransactions that we completely forget about. Here's what most people don't realize about those $10 monthly subscriptions. They seem small individually, but they create a constant low-grade financial drag on your life. Once every 6 months, you need to sit down, look at your statement, and cancel every single recurring payment that you have not used in the last 30 days. If you truly miss it, you can always sign up again later. But you will find that most of the time, you completely forget it was even gone. To understand how these small shifts add up, think about a large cruise ship traveling across the ocean from New York to London. If the captain changes the ship's course by just 1 single degree at the start of the journey, it seems like nothing has changed for the first few miles. The ship looks like it is heading in the exact same direction. But over days and thousands of miles, that tiny 1-degree shift completely changes the destination, and the ship ends up hundreds of miles away in a completely different country. Your money works the exact same way. You do not need a massive, dramatic life overhaul to change your future. You just need that 1-degree shift in your daily habits to completely rewrite where you land 10 years from now. Now you might be thinking, this all sounds great, Jack, but I barely earn enough to pay my rent and buy groceries as it is. So how am I supposed to find extra money to automate into a separate account? And that is a completely valid point because the cost of living right now is incredibly high and things are genuinely tough for everyday earners. But the beauty of this framework is that it does not require you to start with hundreds of dollars. If you can only afford to automate $5 a week, you start with $5 a week. The goal here is not the specific amount of money you are saving on day 1. The goal is building the neural pathway and the identity of someone who saves consistently. Once the habit is built and your brain adjusts to that tiny change, you can slowly scale it up over time as your income grows. Let us quickly recap the 3 hidden habits of the Clear Canvas system so you can start putting them into practice today. First, set up the first day swipe to automatically move a small percentage of your paycheck the moment it arrives. Second, build a friction firewall by keeping your savings at a completely separate bank without easy digital access. Third, run a subscription audit reset to eliminate the hidden recurring costs that are quietly draining your hard-earned cash. Building wealth is not about being a financial genius, and it is certainly not about living a life of restriction where you never get to enjoy your hard work. It is simply about understanding how your brain works and setting up guardrails to protect your future self from your current impulses. You have the ability to break out of this stuck feeling, and it starts with just one small change today. And I'm curious about something. What is the one small recurring subscription or hidden expense that you know you need to cancel today but have been avoiding? Let me know in the comments below.